Black Ops 6 just received a pretty big update that addresses a lot of things that the community was concerned about. It's crazy to see Treyarch act on so many of these things so quickly and give us such good communication. And on top of that, we also received our very first look at Season 1, getting a little teaser of 3 new maps that are coming. I have a feeling that the in-season content for Black Ops 6 is going to be remarkable and extremely good. Treyarch isn't going to let us down when it comes to that, and I'm super excited, and this little teaser that we received today is kind of a glimpse at that. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first big change for Black Ops 6 as of now is the flashes. I know a lot of people were super upset and frustrated about how long flashes lasted, and the flash spam, especially on Nuketown, is incredibly bad. I mean, in fact, personally, I would straight put my controller down whenever I got flashed. It was so bad. It's basically a death sentence. But the change that they have made is significantly better. As you can see on screen, I tested it out and I instantly noticed the difference. It could probably still be tweaked a little bit, but it is definitely better. And as you can see, they reduced the time that you're flashed by 20%. And you'll definitely notice when you get flashed, you'll notice that it's not as bad anymore. You're able to actually survive, and within a second or so, it's gone. You're able to see again, and it's not nearly as long or bad as it was before. The next big change that is now in the game is the nerf of recon specialty. Now, if you guys didn't know, when you put on 3 blue perks or recon perks, you get something called recon specialty. And amongst other things, what this allows you to do is upon spawning back in after dying, for a brief moment of time, you'll be able to see enemies highlighted in a red through walls. You'll be able to see every single enemy on the enemy team on the map, where they are, where they're running for a brief amount of time. And especially in hardcore, this became a problem because people would spawn in, be able to see the enemies, and just start shooting through the walls, killing enemies right off spawn. And it was a little bit problematic, and in other situations too, it just was kind of unfair, especially people that were going on streaks and whatnot. And it was just too long, and it needed nerf. So what they did to start is they gave it a little bit of a time nerf. It originally was 2 seconds that you'd be able to see them off spawn. Now that has been reduced to 1.5 seconds. Now, you might not think that's a massive difference, but just playing here in this gameplay that you're watching, I noticed immediately it definitely is better and more reasonable. However, they also addressed that this will continue to get nerfed, saying that combat specialties in multiplayer, currently Enforcer is the most popular combat specialty, with Recon in second place. It's not just about the data though, as your feedback is a critical part of how we approach tuning of live game. With that said, they're basically going to continue to make adjustments, and we will continue to see adjustments made to the Recon combat specialty. So I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if they'll reduce it down to 1 second, but eventually we are going to see another nerf to this before Season 1, which will be November 14th. Alongside that, when using the Dispatcher perk, they increased the Dispatcher perk score cost for UAV from 500 to 550, and for the counter UAV from 550 to 600. So they basically just added an additional 50 score. Now, another big change that they have made is they actually nerfed movement a little bit, which is good for a lot of people. And honestly, I think this is probably a good change just overall. I don't think people are going to be too upset about this. They basically nerfed snaking. Now, if you don't know what snaking is, then you don't even have to really worry about this, but basically they adjusted the stance change cooldowns to reduce effectiveness of repeated prone to stand movement, which is basically snaking. So you can't like spam going from crouch to standing over and over really quickly. That movement speed has been slightly reduced, and is probably a good thing overall for the health of the game. Now, additionally, they have made a ton of changes to the SMGs, the ARs. They have really modified a lot of these weapons and nerfed and buffed some of them. Mainly, the ARs received headshot multiplier decreases, and SMGs received a little bit of a buff for the most part. Now, I'm not going to go through these individually. If you want to see these for yourselves, other than what you're seeing on screen, you can actually visit the link that's in the description below. But overall, nothing too drastic, to be honest. This isn't a massive weapon nerf or buff update. It's really not focused on that. Just minor changes specifically to headshot multipliers. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably excited about this, but Season 1 is right around the corner. November 14th is when we're expecting to see the launch of the new season, which means Battle Pass, new skins in the store, a whole bunch of new in-game content, and that season begins, which will come with a bunch of probably new game modes and maps and other in-game rewards, probably new weapons as well. And to start it off very strong, Treyarch gave us a little bit of a teaser, and that teaser includes 3 new maps. The first being Extraction, which takes place in a helicopter hangar. This map looks relatively big, but knowing Black Ops size maps, this is probably going to be a medium-sized map. When realistically speaking, this is probably a medium-sized map, and it looks pretty interesting. I feel like this map actually could be pretty dang good. I'm very curious to see how that little, like, helicopter control center plays in the middle of the map. I feel like it's going to be a very power play move to get up in that spot. And then there's 2 buildings that you're going to be able to maneuver through, and then it looks like there's also some pretty big parking lots on the exterior, as well as those useless helipads. Those are probably going to be spawns though. So this map overall, I'm excited to play it. I think it's going to be good. It's very vibrant and looks exciting. I don't know. Black Ops maps and Treyarch maps, I've always loved them, so I'm pretty pumped about it personally. And then the next map that we have is Heirloom. Now this map reminds me a lot of Museum from Modern Warfare 2 for some reason, the interior especially, but it looks somewhat to be like a museum styled map. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. We don't really get an overview of the overall map. It's just a lot of interior. And it was also labeled as a 2v2 map. So considering that, I would assume this map is going to be pretty small and probably the smallest of the 3 maps. But that's pretty crazy to say, especially when we got this map. Look how small this map is. It's called Hideout. It takes place in a military base. And as you can see, it is very, very, very small. There's 2 kind of headquarters spot, like indoor spots that you can go into. But other than that, this map looks very, very small. I think it's probably going to be the best of the 3 maps that we've seen here. It looks very good. It looks very traditional style, 3-laned, but also kind of a little bit not 3-laned. I don't know. I'm looking forward to see how this map plays. I think it's going to be a pretty good map to play on, and I'm very excited. Now, on top of that, Treyarch followed that up with even more exciting news. They quote tweeted that tweet and said, more maps coming mid-season 2. That's the first part of the statement, which means we're not just getting 3 maps that are completely new maps. These aren't remasters, by the way. We're getting even more. Now, I'm assuming at least one of these additional maps will be a remastered map, probably Firing Range if I were to give a guess. But the fact that we're getting 3 maps off the rip and they're saying there's even more coming, probably 2. If we got more than 2, that would be insane, but I would assume it's going to be an additional 2. But the fact that season 1 is already giving us up to potentially 5 new maps is crazy, because it does say maps, which means it has to be at least 2. That's crazy to me. And then on top of that, they said season 1 launch is only the beginning with a winky face. Now, obviously this is going to be hype and whatnot leading into the season, but I'm getting a really good vibe that they are excited for their in-game, in-season content that's going to be coming for Black Ops 6. I have a very good feeling about Treyarch and their delivery for in-season content overall. They had 4 years, and the 4-year development cycle definitely showed in the launch of this game. The game overall is just very good. It's very polished in my personal opinion. And the fact that they had 4 years to also develop additional content and their DLC content, it's going to be a good year, I have a feeling. I really am feeling confident about that. I don't think Treyarch is going to let us down, and Treyarch we trust. And I think we're set up for quite a year for content and battle pass and new weapons, new maps, new skins, new emotes, all that kind of fun stuff. And I'm curious to see what you guys think so far about Black Ops 6. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Nuketown and everything else that Black Ops 6 has to offer. I'm also curious to see what you guys are where you are in the progress for your camos and your prestiges. So let me know if you made it to this point in the video. Let me know what prestige you are at currently at this exact moment of watching this video. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like rating, subscribe to join the Carnage if you are new. We've got a team challenge series launching very soon, and I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be one of our best years of team challenges that you have ever seen, especially now that we have theater mode back. I'm looking forward to it, but I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys before we launch the rest of our content and just kind of have like a little bit of an update video leading into season 1. And hopefully you guys are enjoying Black Ops 6 as much as I am, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.